Yo, what's up, everybody? Matty Ice here with Profit Props. This is the sharp side. Hold on, let me get this light off. All right. Yo, what's up, everybody? Matty Ice here with Profit Props. This is the sharp side. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you're subscribing. If you're watching on X, drop a like, drop a retweet. Help me grow the brand. Help me grow the page. Appreciate y'all for tapping in daily. As always, we will recap yesterday first. 3-0 in the NBA on straights. We did miss the small lotto. MLB, we went 0-1. And then WNBA, we went 1-0. It's a pretty good day. Phillies Nerfy was our only MLB prop. Trey Turner went yard. Fuck Trey Turner. That was the only run. I digress. 4 plays in the MLB today. I'll go ahead and get those out of the way. I've got the Phillies Nerfy locked it in at minus 120. I've got the Pirates Nerfy locked it in at minus 120. I've got the Guardians Nerfy locked that in at minus 129. And I have the Royals Nerfy locked that in at minus 115. I was very close on the Toronto Nerfy. They're in the dome. I think I'm going to stay off, but the model does like that one as well. Let's get into the WNBA. 6 games on today's slate. I've already got a few plays out, heavy on Caitlin Clark. Let me get the banner up. This is everything I have out aside from sides and totals. I have under 158 in the Mystics game, and then I took under 163. I didn't get this out because it was just moving so fast last night. Seattle under 163. That line's minus or under 156, I believe now. So no value there. FanDuel just hung an awful line, and I picked it off. Well, that one will not be tracked on the official record. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. We'll go full screen. Yeah, and we'll go game by game. I'm on Caitlin. I've got a whole write-up out for that. So if you want to get on that now, or if you want to look at the write-up now, you can. Really focusing on volume for Clark. For me, you can see 10-plus threes in all but 2 games, 8-plus threes in all but 1. That's made, sorry. This is another thing. Field goal attempts, if you go 18-plus, which is basically what she's averaging on the season minus a dud or 2. Where's the 3-point attempts? Yeah, you can see in all those games she's got at least 8 3-point attempts. This season, averaging 25.7, over in 2 of 3 with that volume. Last 20, over in 9 of 12. Keep in mind, this is just her second season. My projections on this, I've actually, let me show you guys something. This is kind of the first time I'm showing this to the market. This will be available soon. To everybody. I'm going to be running some beta to some people in the oh shit, this is backwards. I'm not going to pull it live just yet because I don't have Connecticut properly updated. Anyways, Caitlin Clark, I'm at 23.52 points, 3.87 threes, 9.92 assists, and 6.64 rebounds. I do like her to get a double-double today. Her threes, I also took her threes over. So, yeah, let me just go through everything with Caitlin Clark. I'm on her over 21.5 points. I'm also on her 25-plus points. This is just a quarter unit play at 25-plus on this for a quarter unit. And then her threes, I'm on the over 3.5 for a whole unit at plus 135. Yeah, plus 135 at Caesars. FanDuel's plus 134. Also took the 5-plus. I think I got this at plus 315. So you're actually getting 5 cents better than I played. That's everything I'm on for Caitlin Clark, and you can see it scrolling down across the bottom here. Other thoughts in this game. Angel Reese just had a triple-double versus Connecticut, which leads me to like Aaliyah Boston. She also played quite well in her matchup versus Connecticut this season. Now, Caitlin Clark did miss this game, but I rewatched this film. Keep in mind, Caitlin was out. But Connecticut kind of had 2 different approaches to how they attacked the pick and roll. In some instances, they were hedging hard, stunting, almost to the point of double teaming. And that led to a lot of the roll man being open. And then the roll man had 2 chances. Either there was weak side help, in which they were able to drop it off and led to either an easy assist or an easy assist opportunity. Or they were just open and cashed in that, maybe 12-foot jump shot. Aaliyah had quite a few of those in the last matchup versus Connecticut. How will they play versus Caitlin Clark? I think they'll be more aggressive on the essentially stunting. But what was I going to say? Hold on, I just got a text. Sorry. Whether it's Tina Charles or Olivia Nelson, or I forget who the backup big there. I think she's number 32. I forget her name. It doesn't matter which of those three really step up on Caitlin. Caitlin's going to be able to turn the corner. That's why I like the threes. And then the contrary to that is if she does turn the corner or split, which both are easy options for her. If they decide to go to a drop, then at that point, I like Caitlin for her threes. Also, they're not the greatest team off of transition. Would not be surprised if Caitlin both gets a good bit of points and a pull-up 3 or 2 off of the transition. So that's a roundabout saying I like how Aaliyah Boston's going to play off of Caitlin Clark today. I didn't know if I like points or assists better. I really liked both. Model projections on the PAs were at 19. We were able to actually lock in a 16.5. Looks like MGM is still there. That's 16.5 minus 125 in MGM. I would absolutely go lock that in ASAP. That's everything I've played to date, but still a bunch to go through. I've been on the fence about if I want to run Mabry's over. She had 20, or Mabry's over. She had 26 in the last matchup, 4 threes. She was 4 for 9 from 3 in that game. Honestly, I do still want to run the over. You can see here 17.5 minus 108 is available. Model projections for Mabry here. Only 16.86, which is kind of surprising. Minutes are slotted at 32 with a 29% usage rate. I think the best you could do is maybe a minutes adjustment to 35, but I don't think there's any usage adjustment here. Yeah, even at the minutes adjustment, it doesn't get me there. Threes, I come in at 2.64. What are her threes at? I can't pay that price. I lean over, but I can't pay that price. Boston, we already played. Tina, model projections for Tina come in at 16.09, so right with market. Rebounds, I'm at 5.7. So there's really nothing for me to play there with Tina. Olivia Nelson, 7.85 points. I do lean under, but all the juice there is ridiculous, so I'm not running that. Rebounds, 6.5 is the market. I'm at 6.43, so there's nothing there. Lexi Hall, is there anything else? Oh, yeah, we definitely got to check out Kelsey Mitchell. I think Kelsey Mitchell would benefit a lot. I think she could be the recipient of some of those Aaliyah Boston assists. Also, Indiana likes to run a double. So what they'll do is they'll have Caitlin Clark throw it to a big, come across the court, set a screen where Kelsey Mitchell can either come up and get a double screen from the other big, or she can back screen. And then that allows Caitlin Clark to come up to the top of the key. Yo, what's up, Ben? Appreciate you tapping in. And I really like that action versus this defense today. So I do think Kelsey Mitchell could be in a big spot. You see her line is kind of inflated, and I think that's why. Threes, I don't want to pay this price. Okay, let's go to the model. Kelsey Mitchell, 18.73 points. So even though it looks inflated based on her season average, I still lean over. And then threes, I'm at 183. Not as much value here. I'm going to leave Kelsey Mitchell. Damn. I feel like I almost have to run this 16.5. Yo, Turk, appreciate that. It's now showing repost. Appreciate that, Turk. I didn't know that. That's new. That's fire. Appreciate you, Turk. Appreciate you for tapping in. Everything I've played is down at the bottom. I am I'm gonna just keep it moving on Kelsey Mitchell, but that's a lean to the over. I know I think the Liberty are the fastest paced team in the league, but where do these two teams stand? Where do these two teams stand? Connecticut is very slow. Indy is very fast. Okay. Nothing for me on Lexi Hall here, but I would lean under. Prop Buster, you like? I see. I was torn on the points and the assists. I went PAs. I liked them both. So I just went PAs. But yeah, I like those both. All right, let's move on to the next game here. We've got the Dream versus the Liberty. We'll go to Ryan Howard first. I like Alicia Gray's over. I'm just gonna tell you that before we even get into anything. I can show y'all this now too. This is pretty dope. This is coming to y'all very soon. This is my DFS projection site. I will have this live soon. And what's dope about this is, like, let's say you think Alicia's going to play instead of 35, 38 minutes. As you can see, points will make an adjustment. You think her usage is going up. There's a player out, something, I don't know. Make an adjustment. Boom. It'll do all the work for you. Then if you forget what the odds were, all you got to do is go back to home, go back to the W. It'll reset itself. That is coming soon, and that shit is dope as fuck. I ain't going to lie. I've been working hard as a motherfucker on that, but I finally got it. I still got to get NFL in there, and then after that, I'll go ahead and pump it out to everybody. All right, getting back to Howard, my numbers come in at 16.18. So I do lean under here. Makes sense because I like Gray's over instead. So the Liberty are good in transition and good versus pick and roll ball handlers. Yeah, I feel like this is a better game for Alicia, being the spot up shooter of the two. I could see this being a good look. If they played this season, no. 148. This is another one where I don't necessarily love the juice, but I am leaning, pardon me, I am leaning over Howard. Also, I'm leaning over Nafisa Collier's points and assists. We'll get there. Hold on. Let me put Howard down. We're going to keep it moving, but I may come back to this one. I want to get to Alicia, but fourth in assists allowed. 6-2 guards. Damn, she's over in what? When she plays 32 plus minutes? 7-9, averaging 5.3. I'm just at 4.35, but that's still pretty actionable. All right, we're going to keep an eye on Howard. I think I'm going to go over there. Let's go to Alicia Gray, see if we can get there. Liberty, tough. Struggle versus spot up shooters. Gray had some duds from behind the break, but the volume was still decent. What are they in three-point attempts allowed? 7th to make, struggle to guards for sure. I'm at 266, so I do think there's value with plus money. 128 at Bet Online, Prop Builder. Damn, I like Alicia Gray today. Y'all remember we cashed we cashed her threes over opening night. Books were dumb as fuck though and gave us over 1.5 minus 125. I bet that 3+, I believe 4+. Yeah, this was opening night. Damn. I like both. I think if her points go over, it's because she hit the threes. I think if she scores 18 points, she has 3 threes. I do believe that. I do feel that way. Let's go a half a unit plus the threes at plus money. Caesars plus 120. If you're on a domestic, 3-pointers and Gray. Gotta hope this one stays competitive, but I believe it will. Yeah, plus 128 at Prop Builder, plus 120 at Caesars. I'm just gonna release it at Caesars to keep it simple for domestic shops. Caesars. W. It's plus 110 for Alicia Gray. All right, let me get the bet online. I'm going to play it there. Please tell me I can't get Prop Builder to load right now. Please tell me that. Please tell me that. That's what I love to hear. All right. I'm just going to take the 110. No, 115 at MGM. 115 at MGM and get done with it. 115 at MGM and be done with Alicia Gray over. All right, locked it in. Let's go. Not laddering this one. Although I would not hate it up to 4+. Not laddering it, although I would not hate this one up to 4+. All right, moving on from Alicia Gray. Sabrina Ionescu. I think my model had me around 20 here. 20.11. I do want to run this over 18.5 minus 115, kind of. Sabrina, her threes are plus 116 best I see points. 18.5, 115 at FanDuel. Well, there is a plus 03 at Novig and at ProfitX. So clean up all that liquidity first. I do lean over here a lot. 21.17 when she plays 30-plus minutes. I think the spread on this game is like 9, 9.5, 8.5. It's 8, 8.5. I think the Dream can stay in this one. Keep in mind the Liberty are coming off their first loss of the season. Might be a little pissed off about that. I still think they keep it within 10. Models at 20. What's the model on the assists and the threes? 5.5 plus money. I am at 5.17. No value there. Threes, I'm at 2.64. Odds are 2.5 plus money. That plus 130 is tempting. There's some tempting numbers here. Let's see where they rank in threes made. First in threes made. Good defense here. I'm going to leave Sabrina's points as a lean over and keep it moving. I know I lean under on Stewie here. There's a 20.5, 130. Everything else is like 19.5. Model projections on Stewie. So I actually gave her a minutes bump up to 32. She's averaging like 29.6 on the season. If you take away the game sub 25, which is the same reason we believe Alicia Gray stays in, right? You got to kind of move the needle here, get you closer to the average. So I'm going to stay off Stewie altogether. Natasha Cloud, I lean over her assists. Again, Atlanta's very good at defending assists, second fewest in the league. She's also been one of those players played a lot of sub 25-minute games. I do think she could squeak right around 30 tonight. So I do lean over this 5.5, but I don't love it enough to really attack it. Lean over, but not an official play. Jones, this is her first game back in 12 days. Let me see how Atlanta is in the interior. Not that good. That is kind of where they struggle. It could be a Jones day. Would love to see how many minutes she runs, but if she's around 25 to 32, I would lean over Jones' points here. Not really scared of Griner. Brianna Jones is solid, but I would lean over Jones. I'm not going to take her first game back, but I do lean over Jones' points in this one. Brianna Jones has had a really good year. With this being John Quell's first game back, I would have probably taken it without John Quell. This is a tough one. Where's the model at? 11.95, right with market. I am at 9.28 on the rebounds. See, I do lean over here. This is kind of skewed with Jones missing a handful of games, but I'm pretty sure they were pretty high up on that list before she was injured. I lean over Brianna Jones rebounds for sure. 8.5 plus 04, 7.5 minus 141 at Rivers. I'm actually going to put that in LA. I'm going to make a bet Rivers lay before tip off tonight, and Brianna Jones rebounds 7.5 is going to be in there. They like to set it and forget it. Wow, Brittany Griner's points have fallen from 11 to 9. I thought about playing him earlier. That number's gone. We're not going to waste any time there. Let's move on to the Aces Minnesota game. I believe Asia's out again. Wait, is Asia back? Hold on, is Asia back? I don't see Asia Wilson. I'm like 99% sure she's out. Out again Tuesday. Yeah. Okay. I have thoughts. I like Collier. There's a 23.5 out there. There were several earlier, so I'm going to say this has moved to the over. $23.5, 110. Is that still available at DK? Let's see if that's still available at DK. 23.5, 110. I think my model was 26.77 on this line. WNBA, Aces, Lynx. That is absolutely the line. Am I smacking that? What's their PR line? Not open, okay. You could play a 33.5, no, a 33 plus, so 32.5 minus 125. MGM has the 32.5, 110. Where did my PR number coming at? Collier, there and there, 36. Shit. I think I've got to run this. Is MGM 32.5, 110? I think I've got to run this. Aces, Lynx, players, combo stats, points and rebounds. Fellas, let's lock that one in for, I think I got to go full on that. Oh, like your biggest fear is them belt to ass. It's your only fear. She's the best player in the W. What's my PRA number? 40.5, 36.5. PR or PRA, boys? They struggle versus each. I'm locking in the PRs right now. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Over 32.5 PRs minus 110 MGM. Let me get that on the banner. Yeah, you had to play fee today. Look, I like Jackie Young's over. If you look in her last game, y'all, you ready for some shit? 15 first half, 0 second half. She played 15 minutes in that game. I don't know what the fuck happened to her. I don't want to run anything with Jackie Young. I lean under PAs for Jewel Lloyd in this game. Over in each of the last two, I know you can see here, good defense. Struggled a little bit to the point guards. Jewel Lloyd's also struggled a little bit this year. Lean under PAs, not going to run it official. Couple other thoughts here. Lean over Courtney Williams' assists in this game. Also didn't run it, but if you're looking for a lay piece, which maybe I am with the Brianna Jones rebounds, love Courtney Williams 5+ assists in this game. You can see here, allow a bunch. I love Courtney Williams 5+ assists. Kayla McBride, I was tossy-turny on this one on her points over, threes over, coming off of a really bad game, could shake it off, could shake back, but I stayed off Kayla McBride as well. Moving on to the Washington and Mystics games, I'm on the under 158. Got some thoughts. Lean over Angel Reese assists in this game. Has not played Washington yet this season. Two bad teams. That's being fair. Coming off 11 in the last game. I think that's a little bit of how Connecticut defends. That's why I'm also on the Aaliyah Boston today, PAs, but that's why I lean over Aaliyah there. Again, lean over Angel Reese assists today. Points and rebounds, nothing there. Would be interested to know what a double-double price is, but I wouldn't take anything over minus 110. Sykes, lean over. My model's around 20. We can show you. These are my projections for this game. You can see Sykes here. I'm at 20.83. That's her projected at 32.5 minutes, 31% usage percentage. Juice is a little up there. Then you're playing 19.5 plus money if you don't want to be at 18.5 minus 130. I do like the fact you're probably getting 30 minutes out of her tonight. In 30 minutes, she's over in 6 of 7. The game she went under, what were her field goal like? Her field goal attempts were way down. This is the best team in the league, though. Model leans over here on Sykes. I don't know that I can get to the window, but I do lean over on Sykes. Ariel Atkins, I'm at 12.79, I believe, on her points. We can see here 12.79 on her points, 289 assists, 344. We can go check that versus the market and see. We're at 344, so there was nothing there. 289. Leaning under there, but with the juice, I just really think it's close. Kiki could struggle. They've got two good bigs defensively. I wouldn't be racing to back her tonight. And then Sonia Citron, 14.39. I do lean over here. Juice is iffy again as well, though. I have Kiki at 9 boards. I'd be afraid to back that. That's the one thing they do well. Let's move on to the Valkyries versus the Wings game. Paige Becker's point 17.5. Let's get to Paige. 17.5. I'm at 17.16. You can see 16.37 on Enrique. So lean very slightly under on each of those ladies, but no cigar. Paige rebounds, markets at 4.5. I am at 4.23, nothing there. I'm at 5.99 on the assists. So I don't see any value there. And then for Paige's threes, 1.45. Maybe lean over the threes there. Enrique, I would be interested to know what her threes are at. 2.34. I would say a moderate amount of interest in the Enrique threes over. Minus 154 at FanDuel, but probably not something I'm getting to. They do allow a bunch of threes. Let me go to the mobile and see what they are from above the break. Oh, wow. I don't know. This could be one of those games where Enrique goes the fuck off. This really could be. They struggle from above the break. Yeah, this could be. I feel like Enrique's either giving you like 9 points tonight or 25 points tonight. I don't feel like you're getting anything in between from her tonight. I'm going to stay off. But they do struggle from above the break, and she's done well in those games this season. Kayla Thornton, really no opinion. What about Dejanay Carrington? How are they in transition? They suck in transition. Dejanay balls in games where they're bad in transition. Is there any 12.5 out there for Dejanay? Everybody's at 13. I might still run the 13. I love taking her versus teams that struggle in the fast break. Let's go look at some line history, see if this is coming down. If so, I'll wait around. No, this opened 12.5 and moved. All right, that's lame as fuck. I still like the 13.5. Looks like we can play plus 102 at FanDuel. This game they should not get blown out in. I'm running Dijonay. I'm going to go a half a unit here. I'm going to run the over at FanDuel. I'm running Dijonay. Make sure it's plus 2. WNBA. Dallas versus the Valks. Player points. Dijonay plus 2. Yeah, lock that in for a half a unit. Massive W slate today. All right, we locked Dijonay in. All right, let's move to the last game. Seattle versus the Sparks. See where the model comes in on these ladies. I've got Skylar Diggins-Smith at 19.21 points tonight. I've got Gabby Williams at 15.29. Nanika Agwumike 16.56. I've got Kelsey Plum at 20.38. Hamby at 17. Let's go back here. Do lean over here, absolutely. Why am I getting this number? Early leans to Skylar Diggins-Smith, points over. Assists 5.5. I believe that's right around where I was. I'm at 6.5. I'm going to lean over Skylar Diggins-Smith PAs here. Kelsey Plum is out. That's definitely going to lead to some blowout potential. Might be what the movement is here. Rakia Jackson probably going to have a big game without Kelsey Plum. How does she match up tonight? They struggle versus pick and roll ball handlers, so that's a plus. This one's going to be tough. No Kelsey Plum. Maybe some blowout road all over it. See, this is where I think Hamby's going to get a usage bump. This is where I think this model could be pretty cool. Let's say maybe go to 28. Game stays competitive, 35. Now you get to 20.91. 38's her season high minutes. Looks like 30s are season high in usage. Couple games near that height. They are good in the restricted area, though. Don't love that. All right. I'm going to, I think, stay off of Dearica Hamby as well, but I do lean over her points. Let's look at rebounds. Defensive analysis, rebounds 6th. Do well versus bigs, though. Gabby Williams, the points lean over. The points do definitely lean over. They struggle versus spot-up shooters. I might have to take Gabby's threes. Let's do a refresh, see where the market's sitting. Gabby, 135 at Bet Online, 136 at FanDuel. So I will say the market's moving against us, but I do lean over Gabby Williams threes there. I think I'm just going to leave that as a lean. We have absolutely sprayed the board already. We're about 45 minutes deep into today's episode. Looks like we have technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plays. Some of these are half a unit and quarter unit even plays. Okay, yeah, and I did not add Alicia Gray. Okay, let's do this. Oh, wait, she is there. I took her threes as well. Okay, we're all over her. One second, I'll quickly recap everything and we'll be done. All right, we are going to recap everything and we will call it a day. Not down here at the bottom. Everything down here is WNBA. I do have 4 Nerfies on today's slate as well. I've got the Phillies Nerfies, the Pirates Nerfie, the Guardians Nerfie, and the Royals Nerfie. Outside of that, we have Caitlin Clark over 21.5 points. That's a 1-unit play. We have Caitlin Clark to score 25-plus points. That's a quarter-unit play. We have Caitlin Clark over 3.5 3-pointers made. That's a 1-unit play. We have her to hit 5+ threes. That's a quarter-unit play. We have Aaliyah Boston over points and assists. That is a half a unit play. We have Alicia Gray over 20.5 points, or Alicia Gray over 2.5 threes. That's a half a unit play. Nafisa Collier over 32.5 points and rebounds. That's a 1-unit play to win 1 unit. And then a half a unit on Dejanay Carrington over 13.5 points. We also have 1 unit on Alicia Gray over 16.5 points, and then a quarter unit on her to have 20+ points. And that's everything. We're going to call it. We are in and out in 45 minutes. I appreciate you all for tapping in. Best of luck today. Is there a WNBA slate tomorrow? 1 game tomorrow. I may stream. Definitely Thursday because there's both. Tomorrow, no promises. All right, best of luck today.